I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads. I'm with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, September 15th races at Hastings. We do have 8 thrillers for you. No stakes races today, but we had a whole pile of them last week and got a couple futurities next week. We'll get the old solid claiming horses and the old hard trying horses to.
It's weeks for the undercard horses.
They will always put on a good show. We'll let you kick things off and raise one.
First is a maiden 8 for 3 and up boys, going 6.5 furlongs, field of 6. Tough to get by the 2. My Grand Valentine from Dave Milburn. Bit of a disappointing race last time. The time before that, second behind Doobie, who was actually entered in the Derby, did scratch
in the gate for a while.
Yeah. Got it in the gate. And defeated Fright Night, came back to win for 60 and then won allowance race. If he can run that race back, I think he's long gone in here. I put in Gate Shot, the Craig McPherson horse on the outside. Kitten's Joy, just 2 starts last year, just the 1 start this year. He didn't get to the races till late. That was for 25, now in here for 8. Antonio Reyes sticks with him. I'm going to give him a shot. And I threw in the 1, Hot Daddy. Terry Clyde having a very good year. Hasn't shown much of yet, but he's been freshened up and come back to work well in a minute. 1 and 3 ticks. As I mentioned, Terry Clyde going good right now. So I threw in Hot Daddy. It's a horse I've watched all along. I went 2, 6, 1.
Yeah, I agree with the 2. My Grand Valentine, definitely this horse is race to win or lose. A 4-year-old running against a lot of 3-year-olds and some fillies. Good runner-up effort to Doobie. Last time was hung out a little wide. Didn't get the kind of position, freshened up. Good final work in 47 and 4. It seems like all systems go. Let's go wire to wire here with Romero Saunders, who's riding great right now. He's been sneaky good.
He was on that 25-1 shot of Mavens that we talked about.
Yeah, causing havoc. And I put the 5 horse. I'm betting on Brutus. I always kind of liked this horse. Was always working well, but didn't transfer those works into a good race in the afternoon. Ran a little bit better last time, but this one's had a barn change, and we'll see how the horse does. Richard Hamill will ride. I'm betting on Brutus, and I put the 4 horse, Simply Golden, the filly, in for 3rd. Thought she could have come running on late. I did leave out Gate Shot, who is going back in blinkers. Did have blinkers on their first 2 starts last year. Didn't have them on first time out, but perhaps better. I did leave out Hot Daddy too, but I don't know. I like the 2. I like the 2.
I like the 2, and then pick who you like after that.
To me, they're all the same.
Yeah.
2, 5, 4. For me in the Sunday opener. On to the second race, $4,000 claimer going a mile on the 16th. Went to the 2, Musaka Chef, kind of an unlucky loser to run Harvey Run last time. Didn't seem to be happy down on the inside. Was in there on the lead, sucked back, came back around, and almost was getting to run Harvey Run, but didn't quite win the bob of the nose at the wire, but still remained eligible for the race. I thought he ran a winning race, and he's tough to beat because I respect Run Harvey Run. He's a nice horse. But the 3 horse Genoa Bay, who's been on a roll, winning 2 of his last 4, 3 of his last 6, and just running very, very well is Genoa Bay, and great season for Pat Jarvis and Antonio Reyes. So I thought this one deserved respect, and I put the 5 horse Mighty Fraser in for 3rd. A classy veteran, 7 years young, and of course he's lost a step, but you still don't want to exclude him from anything.
Been the favorite.
2, 3, 5.
Favorite last 3 times. I've picked him the last 3 times. He's burned a lot of my money as well. I got him in the 2nd spot. I agree. Musaka Chef just gets beat at Dirty Nose last time. Looks like it's graduation day for him. I put Mighty Fraser in for 2nd. And Genoa Bay is kind of the now horse. It's a horse that's running really good right now. Just won. Pat Jarvis putting together a strong meet. I went 2, 5, and 3.
Good
Same
race,
numbers
though.
as
We
Mike.
left out Sergeant Rick and El
Sergeant
Altino
Rick.
and another Guinness. They're all nice. It's a good little 6-pack of horses that are going to put on a good show.
Might be an all-button. Maybe an all-button race there. 3rd race, Fillies and Mares, maiden 4, going 6.5 furlongs.
It's an ollie. No, it's 6 or
it's 6
I think
and
it's
then
6 or something.
6 and then pick 'em.
If 6 doesn't win, it's really tough to find.
Yeah, this is a filly. Last 2 times for maiden 8, gets beat by Bamboo 11, who's come back to win twice. Got beat by another Phil Hall horse and Her Every Wish last time by a neck. Now drops in for 4. Richard Hamill takes the call for Robbie Anderson. Her Every Wish, my top pick. I threw in Canadian Jersey. Love the name, a Jersey town for RJ and Lois Bennett. Homebred of theirs. They're having a very strong meet. And I threw in Mia Belize. Rockfield Farm looks like he can win the first with Musaka Chef, or sorry, the second there. And Mia Belize, this daughter of Cape Canaveral, making just her second start out of a live barn for Mark Kluche. Why not put her in? I went 6-3-2.
And Jose Gomez does a lot of work for Mark in the morning, so it's not surprising to see him give him a shot. And that's, you know, some people will look, oh, why isn't Amadeo on the horse, or why isn't? No, actually, Amadeo's away. Amadeo isn't riding today. He's at
Is he an Emerald?
Emerald riding Colterberry in the
Colterberry
Washington Cup.
and the Fast Filly. Isn't she in as well?
Yeah, under par.
Under par.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Amadeo Perez not riding this afternoon down at Emerald Downs. So check your simulcast monitors for that. But I do like the 6 horse. I agree with Drew. Her every wish. Good. You know, it's hard not to like her. Lost to a next out winner and Speedy Miss.
The last
even
2
prior
times,
to that, next out winner Bamboo 11. So hard to go against her. The only negative is she's been off for about 6 weeks. Where's she been? She's missed some races. Been working, but shows up for 4. Maybe she was in the 8. There was an 8, and they're opting to drop her down for the 4. Anyway, I put the 5, Illabella, or a decent mid-pack effort for a flat-out filly out of a deputy minister mare, maybe better second time out. And I agree, I put the 3 horse, a Canadian Jersey, just for something, because you just
Great name too.
Canadian Jersey, Jersey Town from Canadian Gem, first time started for Barb. Anyway, 6-5-3 for me in the third. On to the fourth. Made an optional here, mile and 16th, $50,000 claiming event. There's a few in for the 50. I went to the 6 horse Ranger Up. Of course, they thought enough of the horse to run him in the Canadian Derby. They purchased him from Saratoga. He'd been running in some maiden races back east, and ran him in the Canadian Derby. Didn't run so well, but that's all right. He's back in the maiden race. Hasn't been seen in the morning so for a couple of weeks, which was a bit of a concern. But Enrique Gonzalez will ride for Craig McPherson. Put the 7 horse Promise of Diamond, who's had some chances to win, but hasn't been able to seal the deal. But he's in a good spot. He's definitely bred to run long. I know that he might be a better horse at a mile and 16th than he was sprinting. And I put the 5 horse, another route horse, Just Make Believe, big lanky son of Finality. He was a closing second to Be Lucky. I know it was just for maiden 8, but he was gobbling up ground at the end of the race, and definitely worth following. And Connections wanted to run him for a little more money than the 8, and they ended up running him in here. There was no other races going for like 12-5 or 16 going long. So
I've seen Barb do it before.
Yeah, no, it's not. It wouldn't be a shocker to see the horse run well. 6-7-5, but Ranger Up's your horse.
I believe that to be the case as well. I do have Ranger Up. You know, this is a horse that they bought, took the Canadian Derby. That didn't work out so well, but now he's not in the Canadian Derby. He's in a maiden race here, and a field of 7 at that. Ranger Up. I put Wave Warning. A John Gunther bred, George Morgan, purchased privately. A transaction that was probably happened right here at the Derby Bar and Grill, I would guess.
Probably it did. He's done very well in buying horses. The Venetian Mask.
Yeah,
and,
was one that he
he's
bought
had
off him.
He's bought a couple off of John and done very well.
Glenn Todd, too, has bought a few off John Gunther, Tactics and
Cedarburg.
Did
very well, too.
Obviously John Gunther, one of the elite breeders, and when these horses come here, they're generally very tough. This is a horse that was running in France. Did run on the poly track last time. Ran 7th of 8, only got beat 4 lengths. It was just the second start of his life. He's come here. Dino Conolinios looks like he's working well. I didn't want to leave him out. He's a Gunther bred. Got to go with my guy. Wave Warning in second, and I agree. Promise of Diamond looks live in here as well. I went 6, 2, and 7 in the 4th. On to the 5th, claiming 4,000 horses that haven't hit the board at the meet. Ace Deuce looks to be a handful in here. This is a horse that last time we saw him was getting beat 3 lengths behind City Steel for 12-5. He did run 5th that day, so he is eligible for this race. Man, he looks super live in here. Ace Deuce for me on top of Kelson. He gets into a race that should suit him well. Another one, 4th last time, 5th beaten 3 lengths of time before that. He has good early lick. Richard Hamill aboard. You'll see a lot of that. Richard Hamill will be riding most of the Glenn Todd runners from here to the end of the meet. Kelson for me in second, and Texas Kid, who ran 3rd in this race last time. I threw him in for 3rd. I went 5, 4, and 6.
I have the same 3. Ace Deuce, that's a big class job, but he has been away from the races for a long time, and obviously not as good as he was then, but he should still be hopefully good enough to win at this level. And Jose Asensio has been on him in a workout or 2 in the morning, so he's going to be aboard.
And he's been on a roll, Jose.
Yes, he's been riding very well. But I agree, Texas Kid, Kelson are the next 2 horses.
Yeah.
Those are your horses. I went 5, 6, and 4 in the 5th to kick off the late pick 4. On to the 6th race, 6250 older horses going 6.5. Aditya, it's tough to get by him. He's been unlucky in his last couple. He ran into a very good Crackdown last time, and just unlucky to run into Crackdown.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
in trouble and had no racing room when losing to Always Sunny and Actum. So he's just kind of been an unlucky sort. And, might get, unfortunately, he's on the inside again, probably going to get covered up. Still going to need some luck with the trip, but it looks like there's a lot of speed in here with Bill Smoking Bullet, Next Otis, Optic, Imposing Command,
Yeah,
It's
there's
in
gas.
Command. There's a boatload of speed in here, and Aditya should get a good trip. I put the 7-horse Imposing Cat on the class drop in for second, and the 3-horse Bill Smoking. I was between Burnham and Bill Smoking Bullet. I know my buddy Sohan Gill definitely have that exactor, 3 and 4. He's a former fireman. Bill Smoking Bullet and Burnham.
There you go.
But I did like the 2, 7, and 3.
Tough to get by, did you? Tough to get by my man Burnham. Burnham's going to be good in here. Another one, as you just mentioned, with the right style for the race, with a lot of speed in here. I really like Burnham in here. I have him on top. I put Bill Smoking Bullet in the second spot.
Yep, I can see him. He can win the
He's
race.
tough. There's a horse that's run much higher throughout the year, and for 4 last time, he did it pretty handily under Romario Sanders. Switches to Enrique Gonzalez, as he was claimed. And I agree, Aditya, he'll win because I picked him the last 2 times and got him beat. Don't pick him today, he'll be tough. But I really
Bert will love you for that.
I really like Burnham, actually. So I went 4, 3, 2, right down there in a row. In the 6th. On to the 7th. Nice allowance race. Non-3 for older boys, going to mile 16th.
Oh, some girls. It's old.
Oh yeah, no,
this is
this is an all skate, 3 and 4 year olds. I like Fright Night. This is a horse they brought up for Santa Anita. His first start for Made 25, first time over the track. He ran 3rd. Comes back, wins comfortably for 16.
Yeah, he's live.
Beat Doobie by a head in that allowance race last time. I think he's live right back for Steve Bryant. I got Fright Night on top of a couple girls. I put Warrior's Promise, who finally broke her maiden, but did it impressively last time. Should get some confidence off that win and move forward. It's a good spot for her. And I threw in Cha-Ching. Broke her maiden, just her second start for 25 over Butterscotch Blend, who came back to win the sale stake. Warrior's Promise was in there. She beat her. She's come back to win by 10. Cha-Ching might be the kind of sleeper in here. I know she is a 3-year-old filly facing some 4-year-old boys, but I like Cha-Ching. I went 2, 3, 6.
Yeah. I went with the 7 El Noble. I think this horse is pretty live in here.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's had a lot of chances, so I'm running out of love for the horse, but
Yeah.
I'm going to pick him one more time. But he's, no excuse, lost to R.W. Stanley. But R.W. Stanley came back and ran a good 3rd,
Yeah.
behind He's the Reason. Or 3rd or 4th?
Fourth.
Yeah,
Ran 4th.
He ran 4th behind He's the Reason. And that was
That's
in the Randall Plate.
Considerably tougher race.
Yes, and then ran second to Ring of Kerry, who's like a really good sprinter. But El Noble, he's live in here if he has reasonably close to his A race. I put Fright Night in for second. I agree with it. What you said, he's good route horse since they've stretched him out. He's been perfect. And I put the 3. I was between the 3 and 6, Warrior's Promise and Cha-Ching. I went Warrior's Promise for 3rd, but I went 7, 2, and 3 in the feature event. On to the 8th and final. I got some fillies and mares here, $4,000 claimers, going 6.5 furlongs. The 1-horse Yellow Bonnet should get a good pace to run at. Probably the best horse in the race. Takes a little step up from the non-3 to the non-4s here, but I think she's live. I'm put the 6-horse Anotis in for second, who's always consistent at this level. And I put the 3-horse Our Revel Lady in for 3rd. Another one that won a $4,000 event and still eligible for the non-4 condition. But I thought those were your 3 horses. I don't think I left anyone out particularly. I went 1, 6, and 3.
I got the same horses. I did go to Our Revel Lady, as I mentioned. Terry Clyde, just everything she's leading over is dangerous right now, as is Phil Hall, obviously, our leading trainer by a bunch. I like those 2. I got 3 over the 1 Yellow Bonnet. I threw in a Notice for 3rd. Same horse as Mike, different order. I went 3, 1, and 6. That'll do our... For analysis of the Sunday card, up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always.
There we go. We got some 2s and 6s to kick things off. I'm going to start things off with the 2, My Grand Valentine, over the 5 and 4. Race number 2, another 2, Masaka Chef, 235. Race number 3, going to go to the 6, Her Every Wish on the class drop, 653 for me. Race number 4, another 6, Ranger Up, getting in the maiden race after running in the Canadian Derby, 6, 7, and 5. Race number 5, the class dropping number 5, Ace Deuce, going to go 5, 6, and 4. Race number 6, the 2, Aditya, over the 7, Imposing Cat, and 3, Bill Smoking Bullet. All are live in that one. And the 7th race, I went to the 7-horse, El Noble, going to go 7, 2, and 3. And in the 8th and final, I went to the 1, Yellow Bonnet, going to go 1, 6, and 3.
On my picks, so we go back in the first. I went to the 2, My Grand Valentine over the 6 and the 1. The second, I like the 2, Musaka Chef over the 5 and the 4. In the third, maybe a best bet of the day type horse here, number 6, Her Every Wish over the 3 and the 2. In the fourth, the newcomer to Hastings, Ranger Up, the 6 horse over the 2 and the 7. In the fifth, I like the 5, Ace Deuce over the 4 and the 6. In the sixth, I like the 4, Burnham over the 2 and the 3. The seventh, I went to the 2, Fright Night over the 3 and the 6. And in the nightcap, I went to the 3, Our Rebel Lady over the 1 and the 6.
Alrighty, thanks everyone for tuning in to our Sunday, September the 15th edition of Handicapper's Corner. If you can't make it out to the track, please do come on out here to the Derby Bar and Grill on the weekend. Always got lots going on, lots of simulcasting. Still got good simulcasting from Los Alamitos, Belmont Park, as well as we got the Hastings races.
Always lots of action.
Screen here at the Derby. Our next live cards will be next Saturday and Sunday. We will have the Sadie Diamond Futurity, I believe, on Saturday, and the Jack Diamond Futurity on Sunday. They're September 21st and September 22nd. Those are our next 2 days. Both days, first post at 1:50. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time. See you next week here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do,